move that we take up the budget of the Presidential Communication Operations Office, Mr. President.
Is there any,
Last but not the least.
is there any objection? Hearing none, the budget of the Presidential Communications Operations Office is in order.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. May we recognize the sponsor, Senator Richard J. Gordon, for his opening statements.
Thank you very
Mr.
much.
Gordon,
and notice that
recognized.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Thank you very much, Mr. Majority Floor Leader. I do notice that you have a new color of your hair of the Majority Floor Leader.
Used to be white. But I was overruled by my wife.
Anyway, Mr. President, before I continue, with the permission of everyone, I'd like to cite a statement here submitted to the Senate by Secretary Jose Roberto Martin M. Andanar, Presidential Communications Operations Office, and this is for the Senate plenary sessions on 23rd November 2021. And I will submit this afterwards, but if you permit me, I'd like to read it. Good day to all our senators present here today, to all the resource speakers, and to everyone else. I would like to thank our good senators for the opportunity to address the incident yesterday, which caused the deferment of our budget hearing. It is an indignity for us in the PCOO and our attached agencies that our budget deliberation in the Senate had to be deferred after one of our personnel was seen in observance of inappropriateness and disrespect to the standard professional etiquette expected virtually. We are now conducting an investigation into the display of inappropriate attire and the claim that he was imbibing during the session in order to provide clarification. Should he be found culpable of any wrongdoing, we will enforce pertinent disciplinary actions to APO Marketing Unit Incorporated Sales and Marketing Manager Dominic Tajon. Meanwhile, Mr. Tajon will be sending a letter addressed to the Senate explaining his side. Any lapse in appropriate conduct or courtesy will never be condoned, as we in the PCOO and our attached agencies are committed to the highest standards of professionalism in all instances. Our apologies to the Senate in this juncture reflect our sincere assurance that any such behavior that shows discourtesy will never be deliberately observed by any of our personnel in any situation, as it is detrimental to the PCOO, its attached agencies, our core values, and our government partners. Thank you. That's the message of Secretary Martin Andanar, Your Honor. I will not open myself for interpretation. Now, Mr. President, in addition to the letter, there's a letter addressed which I was asked to read to Senator Soto, Senate President, Senate of the Philippines, through Jose Roberto Martin M. Mandanar, Secretary, Presidential Communications Operations Office, 7th floor, Times Plaza Building, United Nations Avenue, Ermita City of Manila. On 22nd November 2021, this Honorable Senate censured me for allegedly exhibiting improper etiquette during the plenary session, which I virtually attended as a resource person for the PCOO. At the outset, I profusely apologize to the Honorable Senate and humbly beg its utmost compassion, liberality, and consideration to pardon and excuse me for the perceived disrespectful conduct during the said session, and would like to explain my side regarding the circumstances which led to me being censured. First, the constant movement observed by this Honorable Senate during the session was due to the fact that I had to transfer my connection from my cellular phone to my iPad because the session had started when I was driving home. Upon arriving home, I then utilized my iPad to take part in the session. Hence, my phone and necessarily its camera is inadvertently moving, capturing an unclothed member of my household as I am securing and operating my iPad at the same time. Second, I vehemently deny imbibing liquor or any other fermented drink during the session. Suspicion could have been made of such inappropriate behavior when I had a sip of cola in a water goblet I had nearby when the session was ongoing. Certainly, I could not have done such an ethical act knowing that I am participating in a session before the Honorable Senate. With my responsibility as a resource person in mind and always putting the Honorable Senate in high regard, I would not do such a reprehensible act during a plenary session. With the foregoing, I most humbly recognize the mistakes I may have done that led to this situation and commit to be more circumspect and cautious in my actions to avoid any perception of unethical and unprofessional behavior. Rest assured that I would not make the same mistake again. I sincerely apologize to the Honorable Senate for the disruption and inconvenience I may have caused in the subject plenary session. Hoping for your kind consideration, Dominic F. Tahon, and the design, Sales and Marketing Manager, APO, Production Unit, Incorporated. Let the statements be submitted for the record. I will have my staff submitted for the record, Your Honor. Thank you very much. May we now proceed, Your Honor, for the deliberation on the PCOO budget?
Majority Floor, in response to the two letters read by the good sponsor, Senator Dick Gordon, may I be allowed to also read the statement of Senate President Tito Soto, of which this representation was given a copy of. In the course of the plenary session last night, while the body was discussing the budget of the Presidential Communications Operations Office, the chair's attention was called by the Sergeant at Arms that the camera of one of the resource persons, particularly Mr. Dominic Tahon of the Apo Production Unit Incorporated, was attending virtually, was constantly moving, thereby causing distraction to some members of the body. Worse, he was seen drinking alcohol and appeared to be intoxicated. The minority leader also noticed the disturbance caused by Mr. Tahon's action and immediately moved to censure him last night. The chair agrees that Mr. Tahon's demeanor shows disrespect of the Senate and its processes, amounts to a disorder of the hybrid session, and indicates a mockery of the Senate as an institution. Section 3, letter F of the Rules of the Senate provides that the Senate President, as Chief Executive of the Senate, has the power, amongst others, to maintain order in the Senate Hall, the antechambers, corridors, and in the offices of the Senate. And whenever there is disorder, to take appropriate measures to quell it. Accordingly, the chair hereby admonishes Mr. Dominic Tahon with a warning that the repetition of the same offense shall be dealt with more severely. So that's the statement of our good Senate President, Majority Floor. May I just ask through the good sponsor if Mr. Dominic Tahon is present in the session hall today?
Is Mr. Tahon present? Secretary Andanar?
No, I can see that the PCOO team is waving that the person is not present in the session hall today. May I just ask what is his official position in Apo Production Unit Incorporated? Is he the general manager?
I believe he's the marketing manager, Your Honor.
Oh, so he's not even the head of agency.
Sales and Marketing Manager.
And may I just ask a good sponsor, why was he present during the virtual hearing? Because typically and normally, it's only the head of agency who would represent the entire agency during budget deliberations.
Your Honor, Apo, the head of agency, was not sick, so he was asked to represent him.
Right. Well, I listened to the statement of Mr. Tahon, and I was here, no, at the podium to preside over the budget deliberation yesterday, and I personally saw the movement as well as the cameras going around, and it flashed some people dressed inappropriately. Some of them are not even dressed, actually. And during that time, I also witnessed some people drinking. and apparently those drinks were alcoholic drinks. But recognizing the letter of apology of Mr. Tahon, it is well, it is sad, no, that this happened, and we just have to make sure that this will not happen again by sending a strong statement of censure to Mr. Tahon. But listening to the apology letter of Mr. Tahon and as well as the PCOO, I think we should just learn from this issue, just learn from this event, and treat the session deliberations as a normal session deliberation, as what we have been doing in the past physically. Don't take it lightly. I know sometimes when we're at home, we take it lightly and we lose the concept of formal deliberations. And sometimes, actually, I see some resource persons becoming very relaxed, no? Extremely relaxed sometimes because they're at home and, of course, they're just at the convenience of their houses. So let's just learn from this, and the apology letter is a lesson learned for all of us, and especially for the resource persons who we invite and to shed light into the budget deliberations. So with that, majority floor.
Yes, sir. I just want to add, Mr. President, I completely agree to the observations of the presiding officer. Um, the deliberations in plenary are placed into the records of the Senate. These are official records of the land, as a matter of fact. So when we are in this hybrid setup because of the pandemic, whether they're at home or here in the plenary, that is all recorded under the history of Philippine Senate. So definitely, if there is impropriety or improper acts being done, nasa ano na po kayo, nasa record ng Senado sa buong istorya ng ating institusyon. So pangit din tignan yan. So we should never take these things lightly. And although sometimes we may joke around, but in all honesty, we try to keep a proper decorum. That goes also for our guests of these budget deliberations. I also would like to apologize to Sec Martin. I may have gotten blown away last night with my statements, but also I was just shocked that I found out that the resource persons were all on virtual hybrid setup, wherein we had to ask all other secretaries to be here in the Senate. With due respect to them, we'd like to just make mention of a few who really, at their senior age, had still attended Senate sessions. Secretary Artugade, Secretary Liling Briones, who had to lift her legs up because she was answering
Secretary
questions
Lorenzana.
for 6 hours straight. Secretary Guevara was here.
Lorenzana.
Secretary Esperon, all the big wigs of government.
Lorenzana.
How can we forget Secretary Lorenzana? Because of that, we were not able to discuss your budget as well. But they were all here, Mr. President. So, nagulat lang ako na nag-online yung PCOO. Maybe that they were told that it was all right to do so, but next time, at least in the next budget hearings for the department, especially for those who will stay on as career officers, that let's not take the budget deliberations lightly, because it is only once a year, but we defend your budget. We're here to defend your budget and approve your budget. We're here to work for you guys to increase the budget, to listen to what you need for a better performance of your agency. So, konting respeto din yan, both sides, no, both ways. But, you know, we appreciate, for the record, I appreciate Secretary Martin being here. Daghang salamat, bay, sa akong silingan, my neighbor in Region 10. And of course, to all the members of and staff of the PCO are here tonight. We appreciate you coming over. As I said earlier, you are the last but not the least. So PCOO is a very important agency, and we appreciate you coming over to give respect to this institution. Na one day, baka si Martin maging senador din yan. And or the other members of the cabinet will also be in the Senate. So they'll understand the traditions that we have here and the rich history of the Philippine Senate. So with that, let's put that behind us. And I think we learned a lesson from that. We always do whenever we have situations like this. What is important is that we're here for you and that you're here for us and that we immediately pass your budget so that you can come home at a not ungodly hour. Kami na rin. So with that, Mr. President, there are no other members who wish to interpolate the budget.
Mr. President,
I'm sorry, Senator Gordon would like to, I hope you'll interpolate, sir. I'm sorry.
I think
We recognize Senator Gordon.
I think the majority floor leader talks too long all the time. You know, he's so supposed to just do the traffic cop business. And yet he manages to make a speech after every deliberation. So getting back at you. Anyway, let me just point out something, Mr. President. I think it's good for the majority floor leader to know this. I got a call from the Senate President or my minority floor leader, Frank Drilon, and I think this is shared by the Senate President. First, he said that, and it's already done from the budget, you've stricken off the Visayas, Limandawi, Cebu Media Hub. Second, he just wants assurance, and I've been given assurance by Secretary Andanar, and he's there right now. And I'd like to see him having a thumbs up. And I join Senator Ridon with respect to this. There are concerns about the 1,479 contract of service personnel. That he wants an assurance that in conscience we cannot allow if these are trolls, but he's willing to take the word of the Secretary Andanar as well as Undersecretary Ablan, and I need the majority floor leader to turn his seat around and look at Secretary Andanar to show a thumbs up that he is certifying that there are no trolls in this contract contract of service personnel 1,479. Could you do that for Senator Drilon, please? Senator Zubiri?
Yes, we can confirm his two thumbs up sign.
Sabi po ni Senator Angara, hindi na daw trolls, mga Smurf na daw lahat. Smurf.
Smurfs. Okay, all right. And then also, you can see Secretary Ablan, Undersecretary Ablan here, is giving me the assurance earlier. And out of conscience, we cannot justify that. And so we just take their word for it. And these are friends of ours. Their parents are known to us, and we accept their word for it. Senator Lilon has indicated to me that he no longer asks questions. Mr. President, that's all. I think I thank everyone, the resource persons for coming. The Senate eagle-eyed acting Senate President right now, Mr. Gatchalian, for in spite of looking like Senator Villanueva, was able to spot Mr. Tahon appearing to be imbibing alcoholic beverages. I don't know how was he able to see that. That's amazing. And I also would like to thank Senator Subiri for being there for us all the time. And I do notice that he's been eating a lot all the time. Ito may kayod pero may kaon naman. Anyway, thank you all very much, and that's it for me. And I think the majority floor leader can make the appropriate motion before the Right Honorable Senator Angara, who is the chairman of the Finance Committee, that we've given the blessing for the budget for the PCOO. Congratulations.
Yeah, before we make that motion, good majority floor, let me commend Secretary Andanar for showing good courtesy to the Senate, for being present here in full force. You can see the entire PCOO team is here with us to show good courtesy and also to put this issue laid to rest. So thank you, Secretary, and thank you to the PCOO team for coming over. And with that, majority floor.
And we may make the observation that they're all properly dressed.
Yes. Without
No one is
alcohol.
topless today. We can be happier now. Mr. President, with that, and I'd like to say, put on record that Secretary Adenar is a very decent man, a very respectful man. I have to put that on record because he is a very, very respectful person. So, with that, Mr. President, I move that the budget of the Presidential Communications Operations Office, the Bureau of Broadcast Services, the Bureau of Communication Services, the National Printing Office, the News and Information Bureau, the Philippine Information Agency, the Presidential Broadcast Staff is the RTVM, the International Broadcasting Corporation, and of course by my kinakapatid, the People's Television Network Incorporated, be deemed submitted and approved. Congratulations, gentlemen and ladies. Thank
With
you.
that, is there any objection? Hearing none, the budget of the Presidential Communications Operations Office is deemed submitted.
May I ask for 1 minute suspension? Mr. President?
No?
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Mr. President, before I close the period of interpellation, we'd like to, or should I? I'll close first the period of interpellation and recognize the sponsor. Mr. President, with that, I move no other member wishes to interpellate the 2022 national budget. House Bill number 10153. I move that we close the period of interpellation, Mr. President. So move.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, the period of interpellation is closed.
And Mr. President, before I move to suspend consideration of the budget, I would like to recognize the very hardworking, very amiable, very patient gentleman from the great province of Aurora and the Benham Rice.
Yeah.
No other than Senator Sonny Edgardo Sonny
You
Angara.
recognize the chairman of the Finance Committee, Senator Sani Angara.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Thank you very much, Majority Leader, to the two of you, who I think are only colleagues left in the hall, as well as online. And just the usual or the customary message of thanks to you and to our colleagues, to the Senate President, the leadership, Senate President Pro Tem, the Majority Leader, the office rules, the OSAA, the Majority Leader's office, the Secretary of the Senate, the Sergeant at Arms, all of our staff, particularly the LBRMO, who has to prepare double time, to Senator Gordon, who's online, our Vice Chair, and to all our colleagues whose monitors are now closed at 10 o'clock in the evening. But it's our seventh long day, Mr. President, just for the record. We had 7 long days of very spirited debates, very well-intentioned debates. I want to thank our colleagues because they stuck to the schedule, Mr. President. We set a schedule, and our colleagues did. You know, this would not have been possible if a single senator exercised his right to speak till kingdom come. And of course, no one did it, and we thank them for being reasonable and yet conducting debates in the most spirited and well-intentioned manner, with the wish to further help our people. And Senator Villar is also online. I'd like to greet her, our Vice Chair for Agriculture, DA, DITAR, and DANR. We thank her very much because she's also very hardworking from the committee up to here in the Senate, been very supportive of the work of the committee. To all our Vice Chairs, especially sila Senator Joel, who are here always, no? And Senator Amy was with us today. The Minority Leader, of course. I'm just trying not to forget anyone. LBRMO, I mentioned already, with its director, Irene Palanca. Yoli Doblon, yeah, our Vice Chairs. So I mentioned Senator Joel, Senator Cynthia, Senator Sherwin, our presiding officer. I mentioned the Senate President and the leadership. Yeah, Senator Joel was here constantly. Senator Amy was here today. Senator Grace was here yesterday. Senator Pia, yes, this was here many days. Actually, else am I forgetting? Senator Bato, our newest committee vice chair. Senator Tolentino, I think, deserves special mention because he was here a lot and he substituted for as presiding officer, sometimes as the majority leader. And yes, if also interpolating, even if he's the presiding officer, Mr. President. So just really a word of thanks to all because it was a total team effort, and everyone did their utmost to conduct this under very difficult circumstances, Your Honor. No, so I'm just trying to. Senator Risa is also our vice chair. Senator Ping, yeah, of course, always very eagle-eyed with all of our colleagues, Your Honors. In case I forget to, I mentioned the Senate President Pro Tem, but I'll mention him by name, Senator Ralph. We have 9 vice chairs. I hope I'm not missing anyone. Did I miss anyone? I'm looking at my staff, Bernard. Yeah? You have the list of the vice chairs? Don't just stare back at me, please. I've not forgotten anyone. Make sure, We're only 24 here. I don't want to forget anyone. Ayoko magtitigan lang tayo dito. All the vice chairs mentioned, yeah. I really don't want to forget anyone, Mr. Chair, because I'm indebted to all of them. Yes, of course. The gentleman from Valenzuela sacrificed many possible date nights just to be with us, Mr. President, and we know how valuable that is to him. The majority leader sacrificed his time with the family to spend lonely nights with his computer during this past week, Mr. President. So a big thank you to everyone, Mr. President. It's truly much appreciated. Of course, we still have a ways to go with the second and third reading and the bicameral conference. But if this is the way we proceed, then I don't see any problem if we work together in this way. Very grateful thanks to all of you. Heartfelt thanks to all of you in the Senate and to my colleagues here. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Majority Leader.
Well, we thank the chairman of the Finance Committee for his able leadership, for shepherding the 2022 national budget. And let me just put on record that even though he's not defending his committees or the agencies, he would stay here until the end, you know, to show his support. And of course, nagbabantay rin siya kung ginagawa natin trabaho natin. Thank you.
Yeah. And just like to add to what the good gentleman, our chairman of the Committee on Finance said, we want to thank him, Mr. President,
Yeah.
because under his able leadership, amiable leadership, he was able to get everybody together to support a budget that will not be reenacted. That is most important. I think our point here is we work together, united, to make sure that we have a brand new budget starting January 1. There's no reenactment of budgets. We'll make sure that we'll pass this right away. And only one person I know could do this, and that's Senator Angara. Yeah. Huh? Senator Angara could do this, Mr. President. And with that,
I forgot to mention, I think Senator Tolentino and Senator Go, Mr. President, and
Yes.
Senator Bong Revilla also.
Senator Go was here
Senator
this
Bong
afternoon.
Revilla. Senator Go was here this afternoon.
Yes.
He was talking to us in the lounge, and
Talking to
he-
Senator Amy,
yes, among others.
among others.
Yeah. So Senator Revilla, Senator Lapid, and our other colleagues also, we want to thank
Binay.
Senator Pimentel. Senator
Binay.
Pimentel.
Senator
Senator
Binay.
Nancy, yeah, Nancy.
Senator Bina is a constant presence here, and Senator Pacquiao also, who interpolated on some of the agencies.
Yes.
We know how busy he is with this campaign, Mr. President.
And Senator Grace Poe.
I mentioned her. I mentioned
Okay.
her. That
And
she
Mr.
was here
President,
yesterday. Yeah.
Just to add also, I also want to give
Kiko.
Senator Kiko. Senator Kiko,
Yes,
Mr.
Senator
President.
Kiko,
Yeah.
Senator Risa.
Also very active. Yeah. I mentioned
Senator
Senator Risa earlier. So thanks to all of them.
And I
And,
think-
you know, at this hour, it's really our minds are not functioning correctly. All of us lack sleep. So again, wag na natin patagalin. Thank you very much to all of you.
Yeah.
And hopefully we'll be able to express our gratitude in other ways in the future. Thank you.
And you know, Mr. President, just also for the record, I'd like to thank, as Majority Floor Leader, Senator Ralph Rector, Senate President Pro Tem. Usually he gives the lengthiest interpolations in the last 4 budgets I think that we've gone through. But this time, he was
On
very
point.
brief
On
and
point.
concise with his questions, on point, still very helpful in assisting on how the budget should be allocated to. But we thank him for that, and all our other colleagues, Mr. President. And Tita Cynthia, it was so nice to see her here
No,
defending her
I'm
budget in
always here.
person.
I
Yes.
I don't want you to see me.
No, but we
I'm just
appreciate.
Thank you, ma'am.
Pero Ma'am Cynthia, we appreciated, Ma'am Cynthia, that you had come here to defend the budget. It was really nice
Yeah.
to see you. Very nice to see you. With that, my dear colleagues, the staff, I don't want to anymore say what Senator Angara said, but of course, special mention to the staff who have only 8-hour days, 8-hour nights rather, and 14-hour days, so 16-hour days sometimes. So thank you very much for that. With that, Mr. President, I move that we suspend consideration of House Bill number, oh, before I do, yes, let me suspend. House Bill number 10153.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, consideration of House Bill number 10153 is suspended.
Any more reminders for colleagues?
Okay, bye.
Before you go, Tita
Bye-bye.
Cynthia, before you go, before Mrs. Villar leaves, we just have an announcement to make with our colleagues. We might not have any work on Monday. We have work tomorrow. We're adjourning today for session tomorrow, but Tuesday happens to be a
The holiday.
holiday, which is November 30. So we may sandwich it and declare our adjournment till Wednesday. On Wednesday, for our dear colleagues, please stand because we're going to pass the budget on second and third reading and elect our BICA members for the
Okay.
rest of the week. So thank you very much again. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. President, our dear colleagues, I move that we adjourn session until 3 o'clock in the afternoon, November 24, 2021. Thank you very much.
Is there any objection? Hearing none, the session is adjourned until 3 o'clock in the afternoon of November 24, 2021.
Okay.
Congrats.